Guten Abend, welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Shaper of Dreams. Ich heiße Big Los, and the reason I'm speaking all this German is because this is a German translated mod from the German to English, and they aren't done completely all the way. So here we are in the little town of, well, it doesn't say, but it's Caer Estal, I think it says in the journal. Yeah, Caer Estal. And we have to go explore some more of these houses here looking for the elf that's sympathetic to Erir, whom we saw in our dream. So we need to go find him to get some more information. So inside this place, it says the House of Family Trees. So obviously, this is an archive. Here's a bookcase, inside of which is the House of the Nimble family tree. Let's check this out. The pages of this book are covered with elegant elven letters. Here you can find elaborate family trees, stories, and facts about the members. You get the impression that the Nimble family tree has so many branches that this book only covers a small part of it. And I'm not going to loot this book. It's a pound that I don't need to be carrying. Okay, and this guy is named Diir. Let's talk to him.
Greetings of the fair folk.
May Governor. You try to find the right words. Lady Diir tho Shalalaith? Why don't you answer? Don't you understand me? I asked whether you are one of the new guards that Shalalaith wanted to send us. Oh, yes, of course. I'm sad to say that I don't speak the language of my father very well. I grew up with my human mother amongst humans. But the older I got, the more I wanted to be like the elves. Diir looks at you with pity in his eyes. Sad. What has driven your father to start a relationship with a human woman and to father a child that can't feel at home in either culture? I can only condemn such carelessness. At least Shalalaith must have some faith in you to send you here. Yes, I'm quite glad that he doesn't have any prejudices. But say, are you the steward of this house? What is your task here? Indeed, I am the guardian of this house. My name is Diir of the house Isdoil. Only members of the noblest families are allowed to take this most honorable appointment. I've been taking care of the family trees of all the clans and have kept them updated for the last 30 years. Sounds like a demanding task. Diir nods at you. He seems to be pleased with your answer. Certainly. But keeping the family trees updated is only one of my many tasks. I have to constantly renew the magical protection of the books as well. But my most important task is to know all the twigs of all the family trees right down to their roots. You will have to admit that this is not easy, even though it is very gratifying. I'm impressed. You must have an awesome memory to know all those names. I have to confess that I know very little about the elvish people. Diir scratches his chin thoughtfully. I'm willing to help you, but the entirety of my knowledge could overwhelm you. What are you especially interested in? Well, maybe you could give me some basics of your people's history? Oh, where to begin? About 25,000 years ago, the first elves came to Faerun in 2 big migration waves and founded 5 big empires. Those empires soon started to wage war against each other, which became known as the Crown Wars. Strange. I always thought that elves were very peaceful. Really? I'm afraid you are mistaken there. The first 4 crown wars lasted for hundreds of years. The empires of Erir and Ilir in particular were fighting for supremacy. When the Ilir realized that they would lose, they turned to the goddess of treachery, Arashni. With her help, they annihilated the Erir completely. Heavens, that doesn't sound very honorable. Diir nods. Indeed. Their actions finally made the Seldarines, the pantheon of good and neutral elvish gods, with Corellon Laurenthian in the lead, turn against them. Corellon Laurenthian and his followers defeated Arashni, cursed the dark elves of Ilithirs, and banished them from the surface of the world, so they became the Drow. Arashni is nowadays known as Loth. Interesting. In the following 10,000 years, a lot of elvish empires bloomed and died again on Evermeet, in Corminthir, or the Uri Forest, but none of them ever reached the size or the glory of the big empires. Is that all you wanted to know, or is there more? Well, to be honest, I'm interested in a particular elf. He has strangely dark eyes and the ability to enter the dreams of others. Since you have this great knowledge, you might know something about him. Diir looks at you thoughtfully. That may be possible. Why are you so interested in that man? Because he was in my dreams as well. Since then, I've been trying to find him. Really? Had he promised not to use his ability anymore? Oh, he had promised not to use his ability anymore. As you can see, I know that man. But that is no surprise because he is a citizen of this village, and he is now held captive in the tower for his misdeeds. In the tower? Under arrest. He had given his word not to enter anyone's dream anymore. I hope he didn't cause you any trouble. No, he only spoke to me. You should be happy about that. You should not look for this man, but forget him as quickly as possible. What does his family say to all of this? I would like to learn more about this man from people who know him well. Erir doesn't have a family. One of our patrols found him straying through the mountains as a youth. He seemed to be very confused and couldn't remember anything that happened before he was found. We made him a member of our community, but in return, he only caused us trouble. How so? What has happened? Well, he has this abnormal ability. There are strange things about him. But that must be enough for you. I'm not authorized to talk about it. Go to the tower if you want to learn more about it. Thanks. I will surely do that. Goodbye. And by that, I mean we surely will not do that because we will be found out. Here is an inkwell with some ink. We're going to grab it. Over here are 2 dictionaries. Actually, 1 dictionary and 1 history of the Crown Wars. We got a brief synopsis of that from him. And we'll be back later. I actually did this episode previously, but then I checked on it and there was a lot of feedback in the microphone, so I'm going to have to redo it all over again. It kind of sucks, but oh well. I'd rather redo it and have it with no feedback than have it with a whole bunch of humming in the background. It's really annoying. This guy is shooting some bottles with his bow. I guess that means we should talk to him. His name is Golodion. He's too busy to talk to us now. How about now?
Well met.
Epilin Henuver. Oh, do you really think so? Ah, I see you wish to speak the common tongue. Fine, it's high time I practiced it anyway. Relieved. I have just arrived. My name is, Fedza. Why is this Dunkelblau? It's not supposed to be. The young elf eyes you with slight interest. Fedza, from which house? I'm Golodion from the house of Isodiel. Isdoyle, yeah. I am... You remember a book you saw on Diir's shelf? Fedza of the Nimble family. Oh, I know several members of the Nimble family, but it has so many branches that it is impossible to know all of them. That's true. I've watched you. You're a good marksman. Do you practice every day? He nods enthusiastically. Indeed, there are many poets and thinkers in our family, but I prefer sports. I'm practicing for the great games in Everesca. With Cheverash's help, I will win the Archery Cup this year and enhance the prestige of the Isdoyle clan considerably. Really, please tell me about these great games. You haven't heard about this before? So you have never been to Everesca. By the gods, you have no idea about the things you have missed. Using an overly didactic tone. The great games last for about 2 weeks and consist of several contests. Every year the houses compete in disciplines like philosophical debates, music, art, etc. However, there are also more sportive activities, like the Archery Tournament. This contest is one of the most important events. That's why the winners earn a lot of prestige for themselves and their families. Are you so sure about your victory? Aren't there any other good marksmen at this tournament? Oh, yes, indeed. The defending champion, Imion of the Enlusa family, will be one of my toughest opponents. I might be able to best him if I had a bow of similar quality. When two marksmen are evenly matched, it's often the material that tips the balance. Does that mean that your family can't afford to buy you a decent bow? Golodion blushes. Of course I have a good bow. Who do you think we are? Many elves would be delighted to have a bow like this. Imion's bow, however, was made from the horns of a white horn ibex, whereas mine consists of ordinary ash wood. And that's why Imion's bow is better than yours? Why don't you hunt one of those ibexes and make a new bow for yourself? That's because it's not as easy as it sounds. I can't take just any white horn ibex. The horns must be flawless. However, an ibex with the horns I need is only born once in many years. So far, I haven't been very lucky when I hunted them. And, of course, nobody is going to sell these horns either, as anybody who is lucky enough to own them will surely keep them for themselves. You're wrong about that. Maybe you should try hunting again. Sadly, Golodion shakes his head. I'd love to, but Dendayar has already told me off for neglecting my duties. It wouldn't be wise to annoy him again so soon. So, the Isdoyle clan would appreciate it very much if someone brought them these horns? You bet. But, unfortunately, it would be foolish to hope for that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I don't want to be impolite, but I should practice a little more. My last shots were rather unsatisfactory. Well, we just so happen to have those horns in our magic pouch. Alright, let's give him to him.
Well met.
Well, I hope it's important. I have to practice. I think the surprise we brought you is worth some of your time. And when I mean we, it's me and the little bird in my pocket. In amazement, he puts the bow aside and looks at you. Surprise? You brought me a surprise? Why? What is it? Amused, you rummage around in your backpack and take out the horns. Look at these. That's what you're looking for, isn't it? Golodion takes the horns from you and inspects them carefully. He smiles broadly, and his eyes shine brightly. They are just excellent. And it's really for me? From you? But why? Why do you give me such a wonderful present? You hardly know me. We accidentally stumbled upon this animal and thought it would only be fair if you faced your opponent Imion with a bow which is as good as his. By Cheverashtas, I have to tell my clan about it. They will be delighted. Actually, I was hoping for some gold. Surprised. Gold? Oh, certainly, if you need that. I don't have much gold, but I could give you my old bow. Well, it's better than nothing. Here, take it. It's a small enough gift in comparison to the wonderful present you have brought me. I'm afraid I have to go now, Golodion. But I'll certainly keep my fingers crossed for you. Thank you. Our family's in your debt. We won't forget your kindness.
Well met.
With this new bow, a defeat would be inexcusable. We got 500 XP for that. We got his bow. Lost the horns. Alright, so his bow is a +1 to attack. It has +2 bonus hit points. Gives you +1 to dex. And it's 40% lighter than a typical longbow. Probably give it to Jared once we get him back in our party or something like that. Alright, let's continue on. Wait a minute. Yeah, my armor class is really low. It's because I'm not wearing the armor I should. Yeah, we gotta avoid these guys or we're gonna get caught. However, we can go in this house over here. It's too bad we don't speak the Elvish tongue. In here is a guy named Halion.
Well met.
The elf who wears a fashionable and expensive robe is taken aback as you enter the room. You quickly remove your disguise and can't prevent yourself from smiling at Halion's astonished face as he stares at you. Before he starts yelling for help, you put a finger to his lips. Shh. I have helped your friends to defeat the guards. Now I'm here to sound out the situation. Halion is obviously very confused. What? How could this happen? And why are they sending you? I'm very much interested in seeing Erir free myself. Briefly describe how you sided with the rebels against the guard. They told me you were the only reliable person in this village, so I thought it might be a good idea to meet you. Of course I will do my best to help. Have you talked to Erir already? No, I haven't tried yet. Your friends told me to stay away from the tower and the guards, as I wouldn't be able to fool them with my disguise. Yes, that's true. So you must find a way to get to Erir. This may sound absurd, but the only way I could think of would be to become Erir's cellmate. Excuse me? You must be kidding. Are you suggesting that I... No way. Why not? You would have enough time to talk to him down there. You don't even have to commit a crime. It would be sufficient to go out with your disguise. Halion suddenly burst with laughter. Still, I know one or two things you could do. But, even if I was willing to consider this insane plan, it wouldn't help me much. What am I supposed to do with Erir's information when I'm down there in jail? Well, if you and Erir join forces, you may find a way to escape. Otherwise, you will have to serve your short sentence. You just want to make me help Erir escape. Amused. Well, aren't you here for the same reason? You would also do everything to free an innocent friend, wouldn't you? It hurts me deeply to see the lack of justice in Caer Estal. You really believe in his innocence, don't you? I've known Erir for a long time, and I'm sure he is worthy of my trust. It isn't good for our community that one of us is imprisoned without proof. I think most of us already regret that it has come that far. But after this escalation, there is no easy way out. I see, but a jailbreak may endanger innocent people. Then you will have to find a way to prevent this. Erir would never want to hurt one of his brothers and sisters either. So I'm sure you will be successful. Your optimism is admirable. Your fate has led you here, and it will lead you away again, with Erir by your side. I hope the gods can hear you. I will do my best. I expected no less from you.
Well met.
Afraid I can't do anything else for you. It's up to you now. Gee, thanks. Just put the disguise back on. We don't want to be arrested just yet. We have to explore some more. And it doesn't look like there's anything in here. Except for a fruit tree growing inside your house? How do you manage that? It's a big one, too. It's a big apple tree. Must be sticking out the roof. Alright, well, we're going to go around and try to talk to some more people. If we go this way, there is a female elf by the name of Isil. Daro, Tira Iwin. Don't worry, I won't do you any harm. Gee, you seem to think that I don't understand the common tongue. Just stay away from my birds. You'd better not touch the cages. What's so important about these birdies? They look pretty ordinary to me. These are carrier pigeons from Everesca. If we have something important to report, we take a pigeon, tie a note to one of its legs, and send it back. But if a stranger like you opens the cage, they'll get startled and fly back home without a message. Oh, I understand. So I'll stay away from the cage. I strongly recommend you do just that. Everything else would be considered an act of sabotage. And our leaps and bounds were off, so we can rest again. Alright. The reason I did that is because leaps and bounds last for 24 hours. So if we open up this bird cage, the birds will fly out and we'll probably get arrested. That's one way to do it.
I greet you.
Get away from my pigeons. Sure, calm down. Why are you still here then? But we're not going to do that. There's one more house we need to go into, and it's right here, right behind Dendayar. So we're going to slip in with his back turned. All it says is Elven House. What do we have in here? The leadership of Neverwinter. If I recall correctly, this was one of the books inside of the Neverwinter archives. And one of the questions from those pedestals referenced this book. Interesting. So what's it doing here? And here we have a chest with nothing in it. Well, let's talk to this young lady, Odania. Actually, if she's an elf, she's probably not that young.
Hello there.
Minaleada? Sorry, could you speak in the common tongue? Bewildered. You don't speak our language? Not very well. I grew up with my human mother and only got to know my father's people much later. Still, I was chosen to reinforce the guards here. I only arrived here a short time ago. Oh, a paradin. Well, that makes you the first paradin in our settlement. Well, there is always a first time. I hope I won't disappoint those who have put trust in me. The main thing is that you don't disappoint my father and get him into trouble with some misdeed. Oh, but I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Odania. I won't do anything that might get your father into trouble. Your father must be Dendayar. My name is Charisse of Citron. Is your father held responsible for every misdeed that happens here? No, of course not. He isn't a clairvoyant after all, but he is responsible. And it always hurts him when he makes a wrong decision. But fortunately, that hasn't happened very often so far. Was it a good decision to lock Erir in the tower? You've already heard of him. I've always found him to be a little creepy. His eyes are so strange, and when we finally heard about his strange abilities. But that isn't a reason to lock him up, is it? You don't understand. He gathered a few young, inexperienced men around him who'd admire him like a god. He has made some enemies, and it seems he used his ability to terrorize them until... Until what? People say that he drove his adversaries to commit suicide. But it is very difficult to prove that, of course. Anyway, a lot of people, especially the kin of the dead, urged my father to kill Erir on the spot, so that he couldn't cause any more harm. Has he been in prison on spec only? I don't know what this means. On spec only? Rather for his own safety until the more reasonable elves would gain the upper hand again. Erir has been with us for a long time, and he has also used his ability to help us. Maybe he has behaved strangely sometimes and unlike an elf, but that is no reason to kill him without any real evidence. He also expelled the juveniles who were so outspokenly on Erir's side from the village to keep the peace. Otherwise, there could have been conflict. These young elves you're talking about have tried to overwhelm the guardian golem, and to get into the village it was difficult to fight them back. Oh dear. Now those who are demanding Erir's death will gain support again. I wish Erir were far away. That would be better for all of us. We're going to try diplomacy. If you think so, then help me to take him away from here. Failure. I can't do that. I never do anything that could hurt my father. Besides, I don't know you well enough to trust you. Fair enough, your point of view is understandable. I don't know how you can help me anyway. Yes, you won't believe it, but I've never been in the tower. My father didn't want me to be there. He always tries to keep the unpleasant things away from me. Doesn't say what we rolled on that one.
Hello there.
I hope you'll settle in nicely. Well, if you do succeed at the diplomacy check, you get a key from her. Now, I don't know what that key is used for. And I'm actually tempted to just load up and try this again until I get it. So I'll meet you back here. And this is what happens when you succeed on a diplomacy check. Help you? I would gladly do that, but I have absolutely no idea what I could do. I've never been near the prison. Actually, I've never even been in the tower at all. But wait! Odiana hastily opens a drawer of her desk and rummages around. Finally, she gives you a rusty key. What is this key for? Fortunately, I don't know. It fell off my father's key ring some time ago. The small ring that was holding it simply cracked from corrosion. I found it here on the carpet and put it into the drawer where I forgot it. The key ring was for keys of the tower and the cell area, but to be honest, I don't think that key is really important. No one has come to look for it so far. Oh well, if that is all you can help me with, at least it's better than nothing. Maybe it will be good for something. I think that is pretty unlikely. All I want is that my father doesn't get into trouble. He doesn't deserve that.
Hello there.
Hope you settle in nicely. Okay, so we've pretty much done everything there is to do here except go into the tower. And if you do that, you will pretty much get caught and be sent to the dungeon, which is kind of what we want. But I don't think we'll get any XP for that. We'll get XP if we do it a certain way. And that's if we go back to the House of the Family Trees. Remember the ink that we took? We're going to pour it over one of these books. Alright, it's got to be around here somewhere. That's it, the ink. We're going to use it on the Elven Dictionary to common.
Hi there.
With the inkwell in your hand, you look at the open book. What do you want to do? You open the inkwell and pour its contents over the book. What? What are you doing there? Oh no! Well, you know, you are a savage! Guards! Tier 8! We've got 200 XP for that. And off we go to the dungeon. You go to cell till I receive new orders. What have I done to deserve this? You have committed a crime against the order and the people in Caer Estal. That's ridiculous. I have done nothing to deserve this treatment. Enter, or I will use force. Alright. But that's no way to treat a lady. See? I'm in. Entering code. Code? We didn't happen to see that code, did we? Oh, I doubt it. Hey, that's Erir. That's the one we're looking for. We can speak to him through the bars. Right? So here's a bedroll. And here's a fragile bed. Age-old, or ages-old. Nobody has slept in this bed for ages. It looks as if it could collapse any moment. You'll have to find another place for your nap. I can't sleep in this bed. Well, let's bash it.
You're
We pried a long piece of wood out of the bed, and now it's in pieces. And here's the bedroll, presumably where we will be going to sleep. But let's have a word with Erir. You have the impression that the elf, whom you recognize immediately as your dreamwalker, doesn't seem to recognize you. His vision seems to be blurred. Just when you're standing very close to him, he starts smiling at you. There you are. I wasn't sure you would find your way here. I'm especially surprised to see you as my cellmate. I was afraid you wouldn't recognize me. Did I look so different in my dreams? Different? No. I'm afraid my vision is not as good as you'd expect from an elf. Thank the gods my poor eyesight doesn't affect me in my dreams. Ironically. Every cloud has a silver lining, right? So you need glasses, is that it? I'm sorry for you, but now I'm here. It wasn't easy to find you. At least now we can talk without being disturbed. Yes! We are also in luck because there's one of those tin heads on guard duty today. Kathleen, that bitch, was dead when I woke up. I owe you one if you were the one I have to thank for it. You don't owe me anything. Why don't you want to accept the truth? Truth? What truth? Was I the one who killed Kathleen? It was sensible to neutralize her. If she had killed you, your soul might have been dragged into eternal darkness. You simply acted before she could do that. What are you saying? Kathleen had no power over my soul. And I didn't have any over hers. I don't have power over other people's souls. Yes, you do. That's a terrible power. In their dreams, people can kill, die when they fall off a roof, and still wake up unharmed. Maybe they feel a little guilty about things they did in their dreams, but that's it. But your dreams, Charisse, are not quite as harmless, not at all. You mean, if you kill somebody in your dreams, this person will be dead in the real world as well. I'm afraid if one of the creatures in your dreams harms you, you'll also feel it in your real life. But how is that possible? That's beyond my comprehension. You are a dream shaper, a catcher of souls, Charisse. You force souls into your dreams and keep them prisoner until you wake up. You release them, or they find a way out by themselves. But if you manage to destroy them in your dreams, they will die here as well, for no one can exist without a soul. You're just saying something I've already suspected myself. I just didn't want to admit to myself that I am afflicted with such a terrible curse. This is not a curse, but an unbelievably powerful weapon. It might be. But if I was able to control it. But the way it is now, this weapon does what it wants. Really? Were there no situations in your dreams when you influence your surroundings? Didn't you use your will to make things happen? Well, there were times when I at least tried to wish things into existence. But most of the times my dreams were just frightening and confusing. Kind of like when you wanted Master Abel to help. That's what dreams are. But you will learn to control your gift. And I am going to help you with this. It would surely be good to have someone who knows as much about dreams as you do. It's good that you understand that. It might be very important for you to master your gift as soon as possible. I have recognized your abilities immediately. Others you pulled into your dreams may not have my experience, but probably you have attracted some attention by now. You're right. There was a dwarf who said that he was a friend of my husband's, but he seemed to be completely insane. Anyway, he serves the demon prince who holds my husband captive. Your husband? Some years ago, my husband rescued me from the clutches of a nefarious necromancer. In order to do this, he agreed to a pact with a demon prince who healed me. Or, I'd rather say he healed what was left of my body and soul. In exchange, my husband was forced to follow this demon prince to the abyss. That's why I have embarked on this journey. I'm going to rescue him. So you are taking a stroll to the abyss? Erir breaks out into laughter. Then suddenly he stops. As he clutches the bars, you can see his hands tremble. So, you want to go to the plains. That's odd. I've been tormented by visions of the plains for years. Unknown and yet familiar voices keep whispering things into my ears. You are a sick man. You should have seen a healer. Why don't you admit it openly? You think I am insane. That's what I thought for a long time. There must be another explanation. You want to go to the plains, but you are still here. Haven't you found a way yet? It is strange. Sometimes I think I am so close, but I just can't get it. It's like a mirage that disappears when you look at it more closely. I will help you to find your answers. There's just one thing I'd like to ask you. Please allow me to stay with you until we reach the plains. That's a fair offer. Still, we're sitting in this cell. So, it doesn't make that much sense to talk about the plains right now, does it? Well, you're right. It's high time we left this uncomfortable place. Together we should be able to do this. Mockingly. Maybe I should try to seduce that tin head over there. Is that your plan? Or should we just gnaw our way out through the bars and dig a tunnel with our spoons? Grinning, Erir stops you with a wave of his hand. Have you watched how the tin head entered the code to your cell? Each cell has its own code. If the correct code is entered, a light flashes, and the cells can be locked or unlocked. Unfortunately, I can't see the switchboard from my cell. I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I could see the switchboard and the numbers, but I couldn't see the codes the golem entered. Its back was in my way. It's impossible to see anything from here. That's a pity. If you had seen anything, we might have found a way to make them open one of the cells. Well, never mind. Then we need a new plan. Let me think about this. And you wait. Ah, I've got an idea. I know that Errol, the elf who took you here, has a book with all the codes. You have to get these codes. Me? How am I supposed to do that? That's easy. Go to sleep and force them in your dream. That's ingenious. Now we will see how this weapon of mine works. That's right. Find yourself a cozy place to sleep. Sooner or later, you will fall asleep. Fine, I just hope that nobody's going to wake me up while I'm dreaming. So the journal says Erir asked me to pull Errol the guard into my dream in order to get the codes for cells from him. I hope I will manage that. Okay. So here's the bedroll. We're gonna take a nap. Looks like the previous the previous person in this cell was a painter. Painted some trees and some outdoor landscapes and stuff. Must have been part of his rehabilitation. Alright, so let's sleep on the bedroll. You didn't have to take your robe off though. And we drift off to sleep. Alright. So we are in some darkness. We check the map. We are in a prison dream. Oh, and we emerge from the magical darkness. A lot of trees around here. It's very forested. Hey, it's the Red Dwarf and a Dryad. Let's talk to him. Actually, do we have his tarot cards? Here they are.
How beautiful! There is so much green here. I haven't seen anything like that for a long time.
Really? You don't happen to know the combination for my cell? It should consist of several numbers.
Oh, my poor dear birdie. You don't want to leave, do you? This is such a beautiful cage. You can have so much fun here. Still, I'm a little sad.
Sad? But why?
Oh! I have lost my cards! My beautiful cards! Maybe you have seen them?
Not since you flung them in my face in episode 1. Actually, I'm not sure. I found a deck of tarot cards some time ago. Are these yours?
She's got them! She has got them! She's got them!
They were part of a treasure I found earlier.
Treasure? Oh, yes! They are very precious. Thank you. Thank you.
Leave me alone. That's disgusting.
You think I'm not passionate enough? I just have to tell your husband about this. But wait, before you go, take this key.
Key? You always seem to have a key for me. Where does it lead?
Into the red! Of course! All of my keys lead into the red. But be careful. There are monsters there.
What about the monsters? I'm sure they are weak creatures. Goblins, for example?
Oh, I'm afraid you are wrong. It won't be easy.
Yeah, all we do is roll low around here. I think I better go then. I have to find the code. Yep, that's what we do. We roll low. We rolled a 4 this time. We needed to beat a DC of 13. Which means I needed a 10 or better. What does this dryad have to say?
The trees, they are burning. It's your fault.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's your fault.
Red, take the way to the beautiful red.
Well, I guess we're going to have to equip ourselves. Put that on, and we'll open up the magic pouch, and we will retrieve the chain shirt of the irrepressible. We'll don that. And I guess we'll also equip ourselves with a spear. Oh, looks like I forgot to rest. We'll do that. Since we are asleep, of course, and we have to reapply leaps and bounds. There we go. So our armor class is only an 18. I thought we got a barkskin potion somewhere, didn't we? There's lore. Let's rearrange everything. Oh good, we do have barkskin. So it's not going to be easy, huh? Oh, a brazier of invocation. Alright, we'll take that. And then we're going to save. Because this part could be challenging. If you do make that save, then you'll get goblin monsters between you and the next objective. When you fail, I'm not sure what we'll get. So we lost the Dreamer's prison cell key. Oh, and we have ogres, huh? Yeah, this is definitely not going to be easy. Okay, you're slowed. Where's that brazier at? So we're gonna put an air elemental down here. Help us out a little bit. You roll an 8. You roll a 17. DC 17. Your will is only a 1. Oh man, we got 4 of these guys? Really? Alright. I'm gonna have to pull back, I guess. I have to get around here though. Alright, let's get in the doorway. I don't know what's the deal with this guy. Okay. He failed his will save. This one, I guess we'll hit. We'll hit all of them, try to put slow on all of them. Uh-oh. We're gonna need another. There's a 5th one, really? Man. I guess I'm gonna have to waste these crystal flame arrows. And they're healing each other too, to boot. Well, this is no good. Okay, so he failed to save on that. So he's near death. Oh, we also have the... Not that. We also have this thing over here. It does lightning bolts. And it looks like we have them all in the line, don't we? We could use it again. We got 33 XP for that. That's pretty good, I guess. Any of them near death? No, but we're gonna back up, try to get more of them into a line. Do lightning bolt on that one. Man. Well, we're gonna need to use this Brazier of Invocation. Ouch. Okay, now we should probably... Oh, I don't know. Come back this way, shut the door on him, and then drink a potion? Or maybe use one of these healer's kits? Yeah, let's use this one. Yeah, don't you love rolling ones? You waste a healer's kit, you heal 2 hit points. That's better. Dead! Hopefully you bought us some time. Oh man, missed. At least we can absorb some bludgeoning damage. Alright, that's a critical hit. Too bad the lightning bolt didn't do more damage. Man.
My spell.
Oh my
Didn't
goodness.
work.
Concentration failure. Yeah, because we just love rolling 4s, don't we? Close the door on these guys. Alright, let's make it for sure. Let's drink a Cure Critical Wounds potion. Not as good as I would have liked, but... Okay. Hopefully we can, you know, do some damage instead of rolling like 6s and stuff. I got an attack of opportunity. I rolled a 1. Amazing that the spear didn't break. Why do I roll so low? I don't understand that. Alright, I'm going to use the Stone of Polymorph Self. What should I be? An Umber Hulk? Yeah, that's a good one. Oh my goodness. Well, that's what happens when you have 5 ogres on you. Alright, I will meet you back here once I have defeated those guys. Because it could take a while. Because I have no help. I'm a warlock. I don't know how to play this thing. You know, I'm trying to learn and I'm like completely overwhelmed. Alright, I will meet you back here once I've figured out how to defeat these guys. Well, there's not really much of a trick to defeating these guys after all. Turns out I was supposed to drink that potion of bark skin to raise my AC up to 21, which was crucial. And then I don't lure them all out all at once. I just try to take them out one at a time and maybe two will come out here, and then I'll lure them to the threshold of the doorway and then just kill them from there. So I think I've killed most of them. Enough for us to advance. Oh, what is this? A geyser of acid? Did 2 points of acid damage. Oh, there's another one! Alright, well I think we've taken out all of the ogres. And that's good. We could just keep going. We'll probably have to rest again. Oh, there's another 2 points of acid damage. Man. Oh, there's that darkness again. Oh, and here's Erir. Well, let's take the spear off and then we'll talk to him.
Ah, you have finally come. Have you got the code?
No, I haven't managed anything besides killing some monsters. Why didn't you help me?
There was nothing I could do. I didn't see any monsters. I only found a locked door and an empty room. You should try to make your dreams a little more exciting. I was hoping for a little more fun after all these weeks of boredom.
Next time I'll try to dream of some beautiful female elves or a feast, I promise.
That's all you have to offer? Well, if that's the best kind of entertainment you can think of, it is no surprise that your dreams are so dull.
Well, you had fun last time, right? I can only dream about things that are part of my imagination. Besides, I'm not here to entertain you.
You shouldn't take everything I say so seriously. But did you manage to get the code?
No. I don't have the stupid code. That Erir did not come.
Then go and try to force him here. You will have to try until you succeed. Then ask him for the book and the codes for the cell 4 and 5.
I'll try my best, but I don't think he will just tell me the codes, right?
Definitely not. He will try to resist you. Maybe his answer will be encoded.
Encoded codes? Great! Well, the most important thing is that he tells me about it at all. But first of all, I need to force him into my dream. Will you join me?
No, I'd rather not. Ariel will be even more stubborn when he sees me. He doesn't like me very much.
Really? I find you quite likable. But of course I don't know you very well.
I'm sure that will change. We may travel together for a long time.
Yes, if we manage to escape. I should go now and see how my dream ends. Oh, there goes my bark skin. Alright, so I guess this would be a good time to rest up. We don't have very many buffs to reapply. Just leaps and bounds. Alright. So I guess our answer is through this door over here. Will we be able to find Erir? And more importantly, will we be able to get him to tell us the codes? And even if we do, will they be encoded? And will we be able to figure them out? The answer to all these questions will be in the next episode. This is Big Los signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And auf Wiedersehen. Gute Nacht. Tschüss.